Utkala, the noble son of Dhruva, was born with a mind steeped in philosophy and spiritual realization. Even as a youth, he had transcended worldly desires, absorbed in the Brahmi state, a state of oneness with the Supreme. He cared not for wealth, power, or appearances, and his detachment was mistaken for dullness by the people. Deeming him unfit to rule, the elders of the kingdom passed the crown to his younger brother, Vatsara. Generations later, a righteous descendant of Vatsara named King Anga ruled the land. A Rajarshi by nature, King Anga was noble, just, and devoted to Dharma. Eager to secure divine favor, he conducted a grand Ashvamedha yaga. But something strange occurred. The Devas, who usually appear to accept the offerings, did not come. The priests were baffled. The ritual was flawless. Why had the gods not responded? Troubled, King Anga asked the wise sages for guidance. After deep reflection, they explained, "O king, though your present life is virtuous, past karmas have left their trace. You are childless, and this void is why the Devas withhold their presence. Perform a yaga dedicated to Lord Narayana. If he is pleased, he will bless you with a son, and the Devas will then arrive." With great devotion, the yaga to Narayana was performed. At its conclusion, a radiant figure emerged from the sacred fire, offering a golden vessel filled with divine payasa. The king accepted it reverently and gave it to his queen, Sunita. In time, a son was born to them, but their joy was short-lived. This son, named Vena, was the embodiment of Adharma. Even in childhood, he delighted in cruelty, hurting animals, tormenting others, and even killing his playmates. The people feared him. The name Vena became synonymous with terror. King Anga did all he could to guide his son, through love, gifts, reasoning, and punishment. But Vena remained unchanged. Anga's heart broke. He reflected bitterly. Better to be childless than to father a wicked son. Such a son brings disgrace, sorrow, and endless misery. Ironically, his cruelty has driven me toward detachment. Perhaps a hidden blessing. One night, consumed by grief and despair, King Anga silently left his palace, renouncing his kingdom, his wife, and all worldly ties. He vanished into the forest, seeking peace in solitude. The kingdom was shaken. The ministers, left without a ruler, sought counsel from the sages. Though they knew of Vena's wickedness, they feared anarchy more. Reluctantly, they crowned Vena king.